Hi everyone, this is Trish with ByrdFeed. Welcome back today. I am doing a DIY for you. I want to show you how I made this cute little crayon for one of my Operation Christmas Child shoeboxes, and I want to make some more in different colors. This is going to be for a little penguin box I'm doing. Isn't it cute? So this is what you need if you're interested in doing this. You'll need a cutting board of some sort so you don't damage whatever surface you're working on. Then I went ahead and put a sheet of parchment paper over that, just so I don't get crayon. Less work scraping crayon off my cutting board, but it's not totally necessary. Then you will need some little glass receptacles because we're going to melt these crayons in the microwave. I did try these little paper cups. These little Dixie cups was my plan A, but they didn't work. The crayons were not melting. I think eventually they would have melted, but what I found was with every 30-second interval that I nuked these, the edge of this cup was turning brown. And I've never had that happen before to paper. So I decided I didn't want to risk a fire in my microwave. So I aborted that and I got out my little glass dishes, which I was going to use to begin with, but I didn't know how difficult it was going to be to scrape melted crayon out of these, and it's very easy. And for any of you who are concerned, about using something that you would put food in my opinion, crayons are non-toxic. I mean, so that in case kids eat them, they don't harm them. So I'm not concerned about using something that food goes in, especially when it's non-porous and I can just scrub it right out. So you need something like that, little glass jars, like baby food jars or something, because I do find that the glass also helps melt the crayons because it does get somewhat hot. You'll need some craft sticks or something to stir the melted crayon with, because I did find that different brands and different colors melt at different rates. And to lessen the time in the microwave, I found if you just stir them, it helps melt the few pieces that were not totally melted. You'll need an X-Acto knife, and that's to cut the labels off the crayons. Some people soak them in warm soapy water and they say they pop off that way, but it's very easy to take off with a blade, so I'm using that. And then maybe a spatula. This isn't necessary, but I like to get every last drop. You'll need some sort of mold. If you have a silicone mold, you could do this in the oven. You can just break up your pieces of crayon and load up your little receptacles here and pop it into a low oven in a real silicone, heat-proof, bakeware type of tray. This is not, so we're not putting it in the oven. So then I put this on something sturdy so that I can transport it to the freezer without spilling, because these trays are, wobbly, flippy, and if it's gonna be filled with hot melted crayon, I don't want any of it to spill. So I just put it on a tray, and then I can put it in the freezer. So what we're going to start with, what I did is on this one, I think I used 3 crayons. We're going to see if this works. So I've got 3 yellow crayons here. I've got 3 green ones, 3 blue ones. We'll make another blue one. 3 red, and then I wanted purple, and I didn't have a purple crayon. Well, I did have one purple crayon, which was broken and some pieces there. And so I took a blue and a red. I'm going to see how that works and mix them together. And the same for an orange. I had a yellow, an orange, and a red. So we'll mix all those together and see if we get an orange crayon out of that. The only color I'm really missing is black. I didn't have any black crayon pieces without breaking into a perfectly brand new box of crayons, which I was trying to avoid. And they probably don't really need black. They can, I think 6 colors is a great option for a child to color with. So what we're going to do, let's start with yellow. So one of them I've already taken the label off of. And then you're just going to slice down the crayon without slicing your fingers, and it peels right off. Very easy. You also might want to grab a few paper napkins too, in case you have some spills while we're doing this. And you can wipe those up quickly. So, I don't see, there it is. Couldn't see where I made the cut. And that comes off. Then you're going to, and this works great, of course, if you have leftover crayons. I just don't have a lot of leftover crayons. A lot of these were partially used by the kids from those restaurant crayons that my daughter-in-law collects for me. So we're going to put all these into, you can see even that this middle one was easier to cut than the first one. So they're, you know, different brands are different, are just different, different formulas. This one is a little bit harder to cut as well. And so we're going to put all those in there. Then I'm going to nuke it, and I'll tell you how long I did it, and we'll come back here. Okay, I nuked this yellow for 5 minutes. Well, that seems like a long time, but I did it in like 1 minute increments. Still not quite completely melted. I think if I stir it here, it will totally melt. So let me pause you so that you're not watching me do this forever. Okay, I think this is ready. Now I'll go 3 right hand to do, oh, it's still not melted all the way, but you know what, we're going to go with it. I'm going to go with it, and I'm going to pour it into my mold. Oh yeah, three crayons does it. So I'm going to get every last drop. That's what my little spatula is for. And okay, now I see bubbles in this for some reason. There weren't bubbles in the blue, or I didn't notice them. But I'm going to see if I can pop them. Okay, I've got the yellow in here. It does have a few bubbles in it, which I don't like, but I couldn't get them out. Don't know why that happened, because this one came out nice and smooth with no bubbles. But I'm going to continue on now. This was the glass dish I used, and you know, once you scrape the melted crayon out, the thin layer starts drying pretty quickly. So I just, you know, nuked it for a few more seconds and wiped it out with a paper towel. It came out pretty clean, so that can get cleaned. So the next one I'm going to do is we're going to try making the orange. As a matter of fact, I can probably use this same bowl since it's the same. We had yellow in there. And I will come back after this one is melted. Okay, so yeah, the orange did come together with the yellow, the one red, and I had an orange. This is not completely melted yet either. I think I'm gonna nuke it one more minute. I actually did the orange 6 minutes. And it's not melted yet, and I don't want it to be lumpy like the yellow. All right, so this is 7 minutes on this orange color. Oh yeah, that's much better. And maybe we won't have the bubbles in here that I had on the yellow, we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. I'll make this guy orange. Ooh, it's a lot. So I don't really even need to use my spatula on this one. So we've got orange. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with the green and the red, and then the red, blue, and purple is hopefully going to make purple. And we'll come back to this, and then I'll show you what we do next. Okay, y'all, so I've decided 6 minutes seems to be the magic number, which is probably what I should have done for the yellow as well. Oh, I forgot to bring, in between clips here, as I've been melting the colors, I've been popping the ice cube tray with the other colors into the freezer. This one seems like it wants to have bubbles too. I wonder if it's a certain brand of crayons that is doing that bubbling kind of thing. Just out of the freezer, see how it's turning out nice. You know what? I kind of want to pop one of these out to see how well it's doing. You can see the yellow one has broken away from the mold, but I just want to make sure it's going to come out. Yeah, it looks like it's going to come out nice and easy. There we go. There's a little yellow penguin. That's the one that had the bubbles on the back, but it turned out okay. It looks kind of, you know, funky on the back, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, and then we've got an orange one. I'm going to wait to pop the orange one out. So let's go ahead and put the green in. And these three seem to be making quite enough so that it fills the tray. And you do want it to be full because you want them to be thick. So when you pop them out, you don't break off any extremities. So there's the green. So I'm going to go ahead and do the red and make the purple, and then I'll come back after everything's done and we'll take a look. Okay, you guys, I did find that I could put, I put these last two, the red, and this is purple. We'll see. It came out okay in the way of purple. We'll see how it colors up. But I was able to put both of those little dishes in the microwave at the same time for 6 minutes, and they both melted. I took out the red first. It looked like it was the most melted, and poured that in the tray, and then by the time I got around to the purple, the few bits that weren't completely melted were. And you do have to stir them with the stick, because if you're using different crayons, different manufacturers, the colors, even if they're the same color, they're going to look a little different. You need to stir them all together. And I'm going to pop these into the freezer, and then I'll come back and pop them all out, and you can see what they look like. All right, everyone, here is the final reveal. I put these guys in the freezer for maybe 15 minutes. The purple one might not have been in there for all of 15 minutes. So we're going to try and pop these out without breaking them. See what happens. So here comes the green one. Come on, little guy. Let's see if I can dump him out. There he goes. So there's the green one. And let's get this guy out of there. This is orange. You can hear them pop away from the mold. All right, come on, little guy. This one left a few crumbs in there. How about that? Wonder why that happened, but he still looks good. That's the orange. And then the red. I'm wondering if they will pop out easier if you spray them with like vegetable spray, vegetable oil. This guy came out clean. The orange one so far is the only one that did not come out clean. The purple one, which doesn't even look purple, kind of looks brown. We'll see what color it really is. Well, actually, I think he might be purple. Let's see. The back looks brown, so it's almost as if the colors separated. But let's see what color he colors. Purple. That's purple. So, now this is the purple, the orange, the yellow, green, red, and blue. So that's what we got there. The finished little penguins, penguin crayons. And I hope you found this helpful, and maybe you might want to try some crayons yourself. Now, I will say my little glass dishes cleaned up very nicely. I'm not even going to try and use this for anything other than crayons. So yeah, that's how it worked for me, and I hope it works for you. Thanks for watching. Bye now.